We continue. Billy Dib is the reigning superweight featherweight world boxing champion, and later today he fights for the featherweight title. Now, should he win, he will become the youngest man to hold 2 world boxing titles at the same time. But Billy's success is no fluke. He has some very sure hands guiding his career both here and overseas. Emily Barker reports.
On the way to the arena, I don't think lose and I don't think what if. They're just 2 things that don't come to my mind.
If this is a fight we can win, we could win and we should win.
Honestly, the minute that I walked into the boxing gym and I seen people sparring, I said, this is what I want to do.
I see a lot of myself in him when I was coming up, when I was younger, and I refused to lose. I think with Billy, he knows that he's a type of fighter, that he's a unique fighter that, I mean, you don't see that type of fighter every day.
I don't just aim to become a one-time world champion or, win the title and then that's it, be content with it. I aim to become one of the greatest fighters that Australia's produced.
And the new IBO Super Featherweight Champion of the world, Billy the Kid Dib from the blue corner.
At 23 years of age, Billy Dib is Australia's latest world champion. Just over 2 months ago, he beat South African Zolani Morali in a bout for the super featherweight title. With the great Sugar Shane Mosley and Johnny Lewis in his corner, Dib went on to win in a unanimous 12-round decision. A nondescript neighbourhood gym in Sydney's south is the training base for the youngster known in the boxing world as Billy the Kid. While Dib is still far from being a household name, he's always been a kid with a lot of ambition.
Started when I was, I think, about 11 years old, just, watching tapes. And I think back then, when I was 11, I think Rocky was really, the in thing, and they were selling Rocky boxing gloves and the bag, and me and my brother used to put on, we used to punch each other, and I think that's where it started. And I had a lot of energy to burn as well as a kid, and got picked on a little bit, so, I wanted to protect myself. I wanted to fight. I mean, from when I was young, I've even got like a home recording that we did when we were like 12 years old, and I told my cousin that, I'm going to be world champion by the age of 21.
Dib exudes confidence, slick evasive skills and a killer instinct. A winning combination catching the attention of 3-time world champion Sugar Shane Mosley. The pair became friends and business partners 2 years ago, Dib becoming the first Australian fighter to be hand-picked by his Golden Boy promotions company.
I watched some footage of him when I met him. I said, well, why don't you come down to California, and I want to spar with you, see what you like, see what you really like. And I sparred with him, and I was impressed with the way he moved, the way he slipped out of punches, and and his punch power was pretty decent. Speed was great, so I'm pretty impressed. For a young guy of his age, I think at the time he was 20 years old.
He asked me, I remember we were sitting outside his house, and he said, do you want to go to the gym? I said, let's go. And all of a sudden now we're putting on the headgears and the gloves. My heart's beating 100 miles per hour. And I'm thinking, oh my God, am I actually in the ring with this crazy guy?
Was it intimidating?
It was. And then, in the first round, he was like, I froze from him. But then I went back to the corner and I said to myself, if I continue to go like this, he's just going to think that I look good on tape, But so the second round when I just chased him and I tried to put the moves on him, and then he liked that, and we had a good time, and I was going through a couple of tough times back then, and he helped me through it and decided to sign me up, and here we are now.
And you guys seem like you're really good mates now.
Oh yeah, we've been, even from the beginning, we've always been pretty good mates, and where the families are real tight, and when he comes to, you know, America, you know, he gets treated very well. And when I come on here, this is my first time. I've been treated, you know, very well. And, you know, I believe Sydney's a great place.
Mosley made the trip from LA to Australia, his first trip here, to guide the Aussie boxer to his first world title. On hand to provide invaluable advice stemming from a lifetime in the ring.
It's never really one thing, but I believe that the top athletes, all the top athletes, whether, you know, any sport, and where I'm at, it's basketball, gridiron, they call it, and, you know, whatever, you have to be mentally strong. If you're mentally strong and you believe in yourself, and, you know, you have that will to go after your goal for, it doesn't matter what it takes. You go after that goal, and 9 times out of 10 you will achieve it, regardless of how long it takes. And sometimes there's a lot of guys out there that have great talents, but they fall short because they just give up. It's like, you know, I can't do it. Once the can't comes in, then, you know, then there's problems.
Doing the marathon, mate. Come on, that's simple.
Dib can certainly talk the talk, but don't be fooled, he trains hard. While in Australia under the watchful eye of veteran trainer Johnny Lewis.
I think his biggest asset's his discipline and his desire. I think that 2 things I always look for in someone, and he's of the highest levels. He really wants it, and he's willing to make the sacrifices that go hand in hand with making it happen. And he's certainly got that. Then he backs it up with a lot of skill in the boxing ring. So, you know, realistically, he's very much the real deal. There's a few young kids coming through. You know, a little while ago I thought it might die away, but there are, I'd say, 3 or 4 real good ones on the horizon that can certainly go all the way, and they're all around Billy's weight. So it should make for a very interesting, at least 3, 4, 5 years in Australian boxing, and I'm sure that the world stage will benefit from what's happening here.
Dib spent the last few weeks in the US preparing for his next world title fight, this time in the featherweight division. If he wins, he'll go down in history as the youngest Australian boxer to hold 2 world titles.
I have a goal within myself and a passion and a drive, and if that is going to lead me to become a 2 or 3-time or 4-time world champion, then that's what it is.
Sluts, he's got a few question marks about him, but he does carry himself really, really well, and he's got a world title, and he's had as he said, he's had his ups and downs, but he's with some very good people.
Yeah, still young, and he's got a good brain as well. I talk to him quite a bit on the radio show I do, and he's always, you know, the day after he's willing to talk about it. He puts it in perspective. He had a tough fight 2 fights ago that went on a points decision that maybe he was a tad lucky, but there's no doubt he's out there and he's fighting the good guys, or the hard guys, I should say.
At 23 years of age, and the other thing that I do like about it is a lot of the boxers that, you know, have a fair bit of credibility out there do rate him highly. You know, ex-boxers, sometimes they tend to come down hard on anybody who's coming through the ranks. You know, they don't rate them or whatever, but they do rate this kid. Yeah,
absolutely. He's got the goods, but it's a tough one, isn't it? But if you want to take on the States and take on those tough competitors, you really are testing yourself, and good luck to him. He's got a bright future.
Yeah, fighting in an American backyard is a real hard one, as Jeff Fennick and plenty of others have found out over the years. We'll be back with more. We've got the Sunday Serve.